Hey guys, today is my second day of my training log, and yes, I have already been training today, so this will be another day where I'm gonna be training hard. So here it goes. Stretching, love it. So important. Middle splits. And I'm just gonna stay in this position for a while so I can stretch out my ligaments and not hurt myself while I'm training. And yeah, today it's been better. Yesterday I actually ate some watermelon, but then I also at nighttime I ate a little bit of meat, just like a little bit, with like soup and rice millet, but it's not that good for me. I know that. Today I went to Whole Foods and I bought a whole big bottle of this big of unpasteurized orange juice. So that's cool. Unless it's unpasteurized, it's all good. And I can feel on the insides of my legs, kind of at the knee area, it's a little tight, but doing this stretch, it's really good. And I walked a lot today. Oh, and I also ate some pistachio nuts and some raw cereal that I got from Whole Foods, just a little bit, you know. I was contemplating to get some guacamole and some other treats, but then the Holy Spirit went down and came inside me and saved me, man. Back on juicing. This is me, it's back on juicing. Okay. So I just did middle splits, and then now I'm going to do this to stretch out my upper body. And I'm gonna maybe talk less today so I can train more. Okay. And I also ran a mile today in PE class. My fastest mile was like 5:08, and that was during the PE exam for the finals. But today was 6:08. And then I will start off with some kicks, like yesterday. Checking to see if it's recording, and it is. And I do realize that yes, sometimes, a lot of the times actually, when I punch I kind of rise. No, you're supposed to sink when you punch. It's kind of like the Matrix for a second, where I was falling backwards in slow motion. And I love this drill because it teaches me to start from the ground up. It's kind of just like, it's just pivoting your feet for me and twisting your body. That's it. It's nothing with the arms or anything. I love that drill because it just gets rid of that nervous tension that I have when I'm on camera, because I'm not used to being on camera. get that good burn. I know I didn't do it for that long, or I should just go back doing that. But doing a low horse stance is good for training all aspects of Kung Fu. Sometimes they call this the shit-taking position because the monks would, not the monks, the Wushu guys, they would go so low that it looked like they're taking a shit. But really, it's supposed to be like this low. That's it. Back straight and everything. But it's good for training legs, and that's my goal right now, is to make my legs stronger. The most important thing in Kung Fu, I would say, is breathing and rooting, grounding yourself. If you practice forms, you can get a really strong rooting. And I know people who have really strong rooting just by practicing forms. They're so powerful. It's like they've been doing wrestling for years, yet they've never wrestled. It's just from doing forms. And a majority of what Tai Chi practitioners practice is just rooting, just by standing there and envisioning roots are wrapping around their feet, or they're sinking deeper, or they practice their slow forms. It's all visualization, and so that's why I need to close my eyes now and root, imagining I'm sinking deeper. And imagining my feet are like the base of the tree. And under my feet are roots. And that's why I talk about breathing, because literally we're all breatharians. Water fasting is good for detoxing and for removing heavy metals and everything that accumulates because of chemtrails, toxins in our environment. Literally, if you walk into Walmart, you're already getting exposed to a lot of different chemicals, toxins. And so basically, every year there are hundreds of new chemicals being created. And so we're all basically just planetary matter and stars. And that water is just like centrifugals of planets that enter a system and renew us. And my sister just came back and shining the light on me right now while I'm practicing, which is good because it's usually dark out here. Hey, Tips. I'm making a training log videos of me training, so I can see improvement from day one until, I don't know, a while from now. And you know, a lot of the Shaolin training, originally, they would practice somersaults, and they would practice for like 3 years. Flips and rooting. Oops, it's all dark again. But I'm still in this horse stance, and they would stay in a horse stance every day for long periods of time, for a couple of years, and then they would go into forms. But nowadays we're so impatient that we kind of just force other people to teach us the more advanced stuff. But if you want to learn the traditional way, you got to start with all stance and breathing, meditation, balance. Though forms can teach balance. Now look at me. I'm all into this kung fu stuff all the time, just reading lots of old books on training. And so that's why I train by myself now, because number one, if you train by yourself, you're getting more attention, you're giving yourself more attention. If you're in a group, sometimes for some people it could be good motivation, but for other people it's a distraction. And there's only so many teachers, like one teacher teaching a whole class at one time. And so, you know, it's just so much better if you can train by yourself, because he can only give you so much individual advice. And just training by yourself, you can give yourself much more insight. You can be more conscious of everything that's going around you. And everything, it starts from the breathing, the dantian. Starts from the diaphragm breathing, practicing that. See, kung fu is just your whole life encompassed. It's not just you train and then you slouch around when you walk, which I do a lot. And it's not where you get angry at people and, you know, break your promises. It's all about, like, the morals. If you can't follow your morals, then you can't start training kung fu. And, you know, I'm not a perfect person. I'm no Jesus. I'm no Buddhist who walked this earth. I'm no saint, but I do know that there are 10 bands and a couple of different laws that I read. Before you can train kung fu, you gotta follow these laws and ingrain it into your memory forever. Such as no lying, don't think you're above other people, don't be arrogant, which is kind of the same thing. You might be saying the same law. And you can't be lazy. Don't do stuff to the excess. When you start, you gotta finish. And don't rush. And so, you know, there's this Chinese man who was supposedly 256 years old when he died. And the instructions that he gave to other people to live long was basically to sit like a tortoise, walk like a pigeon, sleep like a dog. And this guy, you know, only ate herbs like ginseng. And back then, supposedly, there are a lot of different, let me shine this light so you can see me while I talk in horse stance. Back then, there are supposedly a lot of mountains where these immortals would live, and they lived hundreds of years old. I believe that. the human body is actually supposed to be living so much longer than we think, but we're not living that long because we're not living in an environment where it's conducive to our well-being. Alright, now I'm gonna start form training. It's been a while now, almost 30 minutes. I will show you how my stance is by pointing lower, so I can also see myself, what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong, which is very important. Hold on. Just checking on this game that I play, checking out whether or not I'm still in the same position. Yes, I am. Okay. So, it is pointed down my feet. Elbow, spear fist, punch. Lock, grab, push. And it turned dark again, but that's okay because I like the darkness at times. Yin and yang, there must be a balance in life. And it's always good to pull the fist back in after the strike. Because if you don't pull it back in, you get the tendency to leave it out. And that's not the point, because when you spar and say you hit somebody and you leave that fist out, he can parry it, block it, hit you back or whatever. You always want your blows to be fast, powerful, and like lightning. Lightning strikes. So it should be like how Shurijan does it, the real monk. His head kind of goes up because you're incorporating your whole physique, your whole body into the strike. And you see how I'm kind of moving my head this way and that way? Well, I just think that because Wushu guys that perform, they're a little bit too mechanical and too rigid. And it's supposed to be like water, actually. Gotta be like water. Kung Fu is water. And I'm just really visualizing me hitting that opponent and KOing him, because that's how it's supposed to be. A fight is supposed to be short and deadly, not pretty. Hold it back in. Check on something real quickly. Logged out again. For your information, I play this game called RuneScape. This is the old school, the old style of RuneScape. So I'm just gonna wait for this player to kill the monk because I'm a defense peer, so I don't do much damage. And really, I'm just learning right now to express myself more. In the past, it's always been like me putting on a face that just wasn't me, or me not showing any emotion, and it just wasn't me. But I just realized that people just love the way you are, the way you are. You don't have to be somebody for people to love you. And a lot of the misconceptions about people, they're just really insecurities in yourself. Because once you realize the grand ultimate truth is really an illusion in your mind that's causing you to think people are out to get you, the whole veil, everything is really revealed, you know? And so now I'm attacking again, and I will go back to training. It's good to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Remember that. Pull it back. Which it's supposed to be like that, where you pull your fist back, because if not, it's easy for you to get countered. And it's good to pull back every strike. Not only the fifth strike. For example, I just realized that sometimes when I strike, I kind of just leave my palm hanging out, or my palm going back in the wrong way. And same for other strikes. Like this, it's supposed to go back in like this, I think, okay? But for this, usually I just put it back like this, you know, however way I want it. And I gotta be more careful, certainly. Actually, it's supposed to be like this. In balance, it still must improve. It still has to improve for sure when I do a lot of 360-degree turning. Because a lot of the times my stance falls apart, or a lot of the times also my form just kind of unravels. That was a big no-no. So it kind of is like this, right? Bam. And so I realized that a lot of the Tai Chi application, it ends like this. Okay, so I hope you can see. It ends like this. like a master Wong, he showed some application, and the crane fist, the left hand it's like this, but when I read other manuals, sometimes they say to put the crane fist like this, so it's more stretched out. Here it's supposed to snap out like a spear. Like that. Bring it back in. And everything is supposed to end and start in stances. Kick. Low punch. And right here I'm just gonna do something I really haven't done before. Just change it to a tiger claw. You guys can't see it, but it happened. Just like that would be better. Now I'll try that again. Just more opportunity. Check on my account real quick to see if anything is going right, going wrong. Okay. Everything is going right. And so, sometimes I feel as if my facial expressions creep people out. And I don't know, deep down inside, it might just be that I'm still afraid to be myself. There's actually no need for me to be afraid, because it shouldn't matter whether people accept me or whether they don't. So it's just something that I have to work on and be conscious. The moment that I'm not conscious is the moment that I start overeating, thinking about things that have no place in reality. And it's something that we all have to really watch out for, because I'm not the only sufferer, and I'm just the person who loves spreading awareness, because as humans we're not like gods or infallible. And just working on my voice, making it deeper, because I heard that women think it's sexy. Okay, and also, there's always just like this frustration deep down inside my soul, like this emptiness that I feel as if nobody gets me, but it doesn't matter if anybody gets me at all. Because this world is like so expanded, so huge. And one day everybody's gonna die. And I don't know if their memory is gonna go with them, whether they would remember me like 50 years down the line. But all emotions and all talk, it's just, a lot of it is just BS. What we really have to do is work on just sitting down or standing or walking, but making Zen a part of everyday life. Because if it's possible for you to do that, then you really change your wiring in your brain and how you think and how you respond and react and do things. Because a lot of the times I act out of fear. And I'm no perfect person. I'm so imperfect. Like right now I look at myself and I think like I'm such an ugly and trashy person. And it really depends on whether I feel happy or sad on the day and whether or not things go my way. Because I believe in karma. I don't know where I got that belief from, but it's just like a yin and yang. If you do a lot of bad things, you're going to attract a lot of bad energy. And if you attract a lot of bad energy, you're just really going to attract a lot of negative people. And so it's like negative people stay together, and positive people, they're just kind of... Positive people actually don't care. They accept everybody. They accept negative and positive people. But it's like when you walk into a room and people sense your aura, like your sadness, anger, or happiness, it really depends whether or not they want to speak or hang out with you. It's just life. You can't change anything and believe that people just don't like you. You gotta change yourself, and you can't change other people because it's really what's inside of you that make people react a certain way or not react a certain way. Like, I used to be like an ass, like a troubled, bad kid, and I'm still like that. I still think I'm like that, and I'm changing because I don't want to be that person anymore, because I'm just sick of hiding and running. Life isn't supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be where your mind is in a serene place. It's all serenity. And once you surrender, then everything just becomes easy in life. Like when I'm really stressed, a lot of the times my eyes will hurt a lot, and I'm like, why is my eye hurting so much? But it's really just because I'm so stressed, and I feel like all the blood is rushing to it and just like pumping my eyes. And if I really just meditate just for 30 minutes every day, or like an hour, I won't have to deal with that emptiness inside me that causes me to react a certain way. It's really just working on myself. I gotta check on my game, and it's still doing what it's supposed to do, attacking. Okay, and back to training.
Mm-hmm.
It's still attacking. Wow. But it's really where I just gotta slow all my movements down until I can really breathe, relax, and then I do the next move. It's not like where I'm anxious when I practice and then I do the wrong move. To practice, you gotta have a calm mind. Words of wisdom. Remember that. Shaolin is like a straight line. Shiniba. Back and forth. But its movements are similar. So I mean circular. Wow, that's a big freaking moth right there, dude. I see that sometimes when I go to my grandma's place. They're cute little fuzzy things. Oops, can't hesitate. Check on that account. It's still there. Okay, continue training. I'm the boss. Just think. Twist and that leg will raise up. It's not the leg that does the work, it's the twisting that does the work. Duh. Getting a little obsessive. I don't know if this is good. I don't know if this is good for me, but I'm gonna practice Iron Head Kung Fu at the same time. Master all 72. I'm not gonna give myself a break. I have to just do it, man. Make all parts of my body strong, you know? It's like I don't want to get hit in the head and feel that pain. I want someone to hit me in their head, in my head, and break their fucking hand, you know? Be like Elo. I remember doing this when I was younger. Now my skull is like weaker now. Because of all that sitting. Because I got heavier and bigger. And my skull didn't get denser, I guess. Now let me focus. Can't even lift myself off. And I can't. This feels amazing. That was enough for today's Iron Head training. Okay, it's only like a minute. Whatever. totally not gifted with my triceps, really. It's a lot of fat still on it. Checking my account. I just don't want to train so much that I give up the next day. So I would call it quits. Sure, I stretch a little bit. It's amazing to stretch. Okay. You know, really don't matter if I spit anywhere in the grass or, because I don't know why people are grossed out by that, but it's just being me. My arms are getting tired pushing on this pillar, stretching that bone that's stuck in my freaking ankle. Don't know why, but I was living the life of Neo for 2 years, just playing games and lying down. So, you know, sitting down too much, not exercising. It was a while back. But as you see, the bone has not formed properly, and there's a lot of things that needs to be unblocked. My body needs to be rejuvenated. Can be done by not juicing, because juicing really didn't help. Water fasting. Guys and girls, you gotta read the Essene Gospel of Peace. Fast until Satan and all his demons come out of you. Fast until all the diseases are gone. Fasting, man, it can cure anything in this world. Fasting. water fasting, water fasting, water fasting. That's all it is. It's nothing, no special ingredient. Well, that is the special key to immortality. Fasting, water fasting, becoming a breatharian. Remember, water is just tiny little planets circling around. We are that in our molecules, what scientists like to call molecules and atoms. We are all of that, and that's how water is the only thing that can permeate really into our cells, or kind of not permeate into our cells, I guess, but like charge us up. Because, you know, when you eat food, it doesn't become a part of you. We don't transform into the food. See, food's like an addiction. What really happens is it just passes out like waste. I don't know if the vitamin mineral thing is all true or false about food, but a lot of the confusion today is because we're not in the golden age of medicine. We're still in the beginning of discovering life potential and human body and its capabilities and how to make it live longer. And a lot of it ain't true about you gotta eat this much amount of calories, because a lot of that is just BS trying to make this economy run, trying to make the medical industry not go out of business. Go to see a chiropractor, a holistic healer. It can do wonders for you. It can do much more than going to a doctor that just gives you pills. Pills that say, oh, if you eat this, there's this and this side effect. But a lot of natural cures are like honey and water fasting, and there's no bad side effect to that, you know? Nothing can go wrong, really. You know, sometimes I would just eat like a whole can of honey. Honey is like the crystallized sugar from the sun. There's nothing wrong with that, you know? And we are the sun people, the Son of God. We do get our energy from the cosmic rays. That's why a lot of ancient kung fu masters and masters of yogi or any kinds of enlightened being, they practice sun gazing, because that's how you charge up your brain, your cells in your body, by gazing at the sun before the sun rises. It's all a matter of whether you want to put in the effort and whether you want to do it or not. Because I can say all this, and yes, I want to help out people, because I love spreading awareness and ending corruption and saving the human race, because, you know, we're just, right now, we're in like the fallen dark ages again. You know, we have been for hundreds of years. Because we don't take care of ourselves. We're living in the matrix. We're not living in reality. Reality becomes so crystal clear once you understand that life is not all about money. Life ain't all about working your ass off to please your boss. It's about spending time with yourself to find what truly stirs up the wonderful emotions that you are. We are emotional human beings. And so when we drink fluoride water, we are clogging our pineal glands. We are damaging our system. Drink pure water. Drink water when you're happy. Drink water when you can structurize it and make it complete without any negativity in it, because anything has life and vibration. And we are vibration depending on our mood. Depending on our mood, we vibrate at a higher or lower vibration. And it just is that. In sleep, remember to open the windows, let the fresh breeze blow the dust out, let it all out. Because we don't want to be breathing in our own body fumes. We're toxic, unless you go through the purification process, which can take lots of trial and error, lots of hardship, and lots of pain and agony. Some days you'll be feeling good. Every 5 days you'll have a healing crisis. And like me, I felt some dizziness, and I felt the spirit of evil inside of me coming out of my body. And because of that, I was so afraid. It almost made me cry, because I would meditate in the basement and I would see killing thoughts, and it was chilling. But sometimes you gotta grow up and remember that we are what we see in media and what we think. That's why I delete all pornography, and that's why I refuse to watch it from now on. I'm an imperfect human being, yet I try my ass off to become an enlightened saint. Because if you lose Jing, sperm, or anything like that, you ain't gonna become happy ever. All that chemicals that you're losing, all that nutrition that is equivalent to gold in Chinese and all these ancient sayings, it is true. Don't lose that. If you do lose it, use it for some purpose. Put it on your skin, like in the Yellow Emperor's journal. This is what you do with it. And now I know it might sound gross and all, but I'm just trying to help you out. Save yourself. Okay, and that was it for my training today.